Welcome to Terrifying True Tales. The case we'll be investigating today is about John Wayne Gacy, also known as the Killer Clown. Before we start this case, I wanted to say I do not mean any disrespect or offence to anyone I mention in this case. All information mentioned has been found online and is available to the public. This case does involve some gruesome murders and sexual assault, therefore if you're sensitive to these topics you may want to give this video a miss. John Wayne Gacy Jr. was born on the 17th of March 1942 in Chicago. He was raised by a very strict and masculine father who often teased him for enjoying what he thought were feminine activities such as cooking and gardening. Gacy was often bullied by his father for being feminine and he was often referred to as a sissy. Gacy and his two sisters were regularly beaten by their father, and this went on for years until one day Gacy didn't scream, cry, or even react to his father's abuse anymore. His mother overfed Gacy as a way of making up for his father's abuse and neglect, which led him to become very overweight, which led to Gacy having severe heart problems, which meant he could not be the athletic son his father had wished for. By the late 1950s, John began to question his gender and sexuality, and wore his mother's clothes and makeup. His father had once said he would rather his son be dead than homosexual. John hid his struggles and eventually grew up and moved to Springfield and married a woman called Marilyn Myers, whose father ran some KFC franchises. He worked alongside his father-in-law at KFC as a manager, and this is where he met his first victim, 15-year-old Donald Voorhees, a co-worker's son. He sexually assaulted Voorhees and threatened to murder his family if the word ever got out. However, in 1968, Voorhees told his family what had happened between him and Gacy, and he was arrested for sexual assault. This led to many other victims coming forward, all being adolescent boys. John Wayne Gacy was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but only ended up serving 16 months there due to good behaviour. Gacy moved back to Cook County after being released, where he could start a new life where nobody knew what he was capable of. He began going to children's hospitals and charity events, dressed as Pogo the Clown. John Wayne Gacy used his alter ego Pogo to commit sexual assaults and murders, as he believed if he was dressed as a clown, it wasn't really him giving in to his desires for young men. The killer clown was eventually caught after his victim Tim McCoy was reported missing, and it was said Gacy was the last person to see him. The police searched Gacy's house and found the remains of 33 male bodies buried in the crawl space of his basement. Some remains were found by the house, and all of John Wayne Gacy's victims' ages varied from young teenagers to men in their early 20s. In 1994, John Wayne Gacy was sentenced to death by a lethal injection. This has been the case of the killer clown John Wayne Gacy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below on any other cases you would like to explore next. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, guys.